Hello, everybody. It is Dee and Renee, and we are here live. It is Wednesday, March 20th, and today we are going to be talking about baking with weird veggies. So I do want to mention a couple of things. First of all, if you want today's recipes, all you have to do is type in the word newsletter, and you're going to get a little message in your Facebook Messenger. And be sure that you do 2 steps. First, you're going to say yes, that you want to get our messages and subscribe to that. Secondly, you're going to hit the newsletter link and you're going to actually get the subscription form for the newsletter. And remember, all of our newsletters, our recipe newsletters, come out on Mondays. So watch for them. Look in your spam and your junk mail if you've signed up and you're not seeing them. That seems to be the case. All righty. So we got a few people on. Say hi to Karen and Melissa.
Hello, Karen and Melissa.
Yeah, so one of the things that is going to be happening here in a couple of weeks is Dee and I will be in Seattle for the Seattle Super Weekend, which is an educational weekend for coaches of Ideal Protein Clinic coaches and owners. And so if you are a coach or an owner and you're interested, on Friday afternoon from 12 to 4, Dee is going to be holding some cooking clinics, and we're looking at doing a grocery shopping tour and just kind of doing a little kind of what we did here in our retreat, some things to help you learn to teach these kinds of things at your clinic. And if you are one of our followers and you live in the Seattle area, you are welcome to come and watch Dee cook live, and we will have some cookbooks, and so it'll be fun. All right, Dee, say hello to everybody.
Hello, everybody. Happy first day of spring.
I know. Yeah. And Dee, tell me about Ernie, the peacock, please.
So this is Ernie, the peacock. I know they're a little bit out there, but I was just kind of having the kind of day that I needed a little bit of something cheery hanging around my head. And so Ernie is a peacock who lives on a farm in BC, and he protects the chickens. He protects all the coops from predators. That is his job, and he takes his job really seriously. And then once a year when Ernie molts, his owner then creates things out of the gift of his feathers. So he's a little bit cheery, and I did a couple of years ago have a little bit too much of a peacock thing going on. You know, I was very attracted to the colors or the feathers. And so I've been trying not to wear feathery things, but I'm like very drawn to those.
Well, that's the creative, dramatic, creative cook. You could wear these when you're cooking some kind of special thing.
Yeah.
All right, you guys. So let's say hi to a couple people. Karen says she's going to catch us in the replay. Okay. And she came. Oh, she was at the coach's clinic, and she loved all of that. Melissa says hello, and
thank you.
Yeah, JPDC Irwin says hello.
Hello.
And Tiana says she won't be there in time. Catch a flight, Tiana. Come early. Okay.
I'll give a shout out to Tiana. I love her weekly meal prep posts that she does for her clinic too. She does a fantastic job. So
awesome. So Tiana, go ahead and post your clinic page here in the comments section so that people can jump over there and get some ideas of your weekly meal planning. I love that. We love to share here. You know what I say, sharing is caring. That's why we do this broadcast every week is really so that we can give you ideas, we can inspire you. And please, 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 if you are making our recipes, post them on the page, post them in the comments section of of each video, and we love to share, and we love to see that we are helping you find new lifestyle strategies. So this some of the recipes that we are doing today are actually, we did these recipes in an event called the Baking with Weird Veggies, which was a cooking show that Dee did here at the Coaches Mastermind. And so this was actually a tray of goodies that Dee sent me the recipes, and one of my clients who's a killer baker, she made these. So Dee, tell us about the first one we're going to look at is the zucchini cake recipe.
Mm-hmm. So the one pictured is a coffee zucchini cake version. You would not need to use coffee, but I love coffee and cake go together really well. And zucchini, I'm sure everybody somewhere has been exposed to a chocolate zucchini cake recipe somewhere, or a chocolate zucchini loaf, or, most zucchini cakes are born from zucchinis that have been left in the garden way too long and they grow way too big. But nobody wants to waste any part of their harvest. And so then they give them away to all their neighbors, hoping that they're going to create something awesome. Hence, I think that's how chocolate zucchini loaf was born. But anyway, zucchini, zucchini, of course, is an awesome select vegetable, very mild in flavor, but also awesome to add moisture to protein when you're baking. So the zucchini in this coffee cake lends a wonderful texture, and it's mild enough in taste, though, that whatever you use for your spices, your seasonings, it lets that through. So it's a fantastic vehicle for a nice moist cake. So this one it's not a new recipe. This is one that I've been making for quite a while, and it's a fan favorite wherever I take it and make it. And so actually our RDC Pam had said the other day that she was going to take some out in her purse. It was so good. So that was a nice compliment. So
well, actually, yeah. Melissa popped up a note to say, this is your favorite recipe.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. That is great. So if you are here live watching us, make sure you type the word #live. Tell us where you're from. Tell us, and if you have Dee's baking book, if you have purchased that already, give us a donut emoji. That's our favorite baking emoji. And if you haven't, I will put a link in here and you can order her baking cookbook. It's 50 of her favorite baking recipes, and they are all phase 1 compatible. So if you're on the Ideal Protein Program, this is awesome stuff. All right, Dee. So on the other side of that tray, I'm going to have to flip through a couple things here. On the other side of that tray was Chayote Cookies.
Mm-hmm. So the Chayote caramel cookie. So chayote is a wonderful squash, and it is one of the 3 allowable squashes on your phase 1 sheet. And sweet or savory, this squash is a winner. He is my favorite. One of my favorite baking veggies. But I had found early on that, a lot of people were using it as a faux apple, which works wonderfully. But again, it quickly became one of my favorite veggies to bake with for texture. It holds together things really well, nice and moist. Again, I need a new word because I don't like that word. And the chocolatey caramel mud cake makes an excellent chocolate cookie, like a chocolate chip cookie. And then you get the health benefits of hiding some veggies in that cookie. So again, it keeps the texture really nice. They will keep for days as well without getting hard. So you can make a nice big batch and store it in a covered container. So you can make a few days worth or a week's worth, or whatever you like. Again, another favorite for potlucks or workshops, or when we want to sample food, or when clients are really missing specific things. We have some clients that they like, fast cookies or muffins while they drive to work in the morning. So this is something that you can make ahead and easily have for the whole week. Or you can make a batch and split them in half, and maybe you need a few cookies at tea time, and then maybe you need a couple more in the evening with your evening cup of decaf. You can make them work. So so this one is an old fan favorite too. It's not new. I can make it in a few different versions that I like, but the basic one, the first one that I did, is still the favorite one. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and honestly, I think that a lot of people are very used to having maybe a little piece of toast, an English muffin, a little muffin. I used to eat muffins all the time. And before that, when I was at my first job, I would stop at the donut store and buy a dozen donuts. And of course, I would always put 2 of the maple bars in there for myself. Yeah, that was in my 200-pound days. But anyway, not that I don't love those flavors. I just don't eat those things anymore. All right. So we have a couple of questions out here. Let's see. Jane says, could you use a package of the chocolate chip pancake mix if you wanted chocolate to also be in it?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay.
And
right.
some little tips I can give you on that is that you don't really you can omit the little bit of caramel sauce that I put in there and substitute out just a little bit of chocolate sauce, or even just plain maple syrup, or there's vanilla extract, there's also chocolate extract, so then you can customize them a little bit more, but it absolutely works. Yeah.
Awesome. And we have a question here. Is Dee's Recipes book made with the ideal protein packets?
This baking collection does use ideal protein packets. However, if you're using other protein packets from other programs, they work very similar. So you wouldn't have to specifically be on IP for the recipes to work. Also, think about maintenance, and if you have, like vanilla or chocolate protein powders around, you can also bake with those as well, even in maintenance. So,
yeah, absolutely. And those are some of the things that in the future, Dee is going to focus on doing some things for maintenance. Her next cookbook coming out is easy meals to make and prep for the week, and so she'll be doing a series, and we hope to have those out in late May, but a series of just weekly meals that you can, super easy dinner meals and things that you're going to enjoy, and you'll all have them all in one book, and we'll divide it up as far as different kinds of proteins, and so maybe you have chicken at night and now you know what to do with it. So definitely some fun stuff coming up. We want to say hi to Peggy, who lives in Normal, Illinois. Is that as opposed to unnormal Illinois? Just kidding. Okay, so all is good. And my friend Matt, hi Matt, love you.
Hello.
Okay, so let's go back here, and I skipped a couple of things. Let's talk about these apple cinnamon muffins.
They are so yummy. They really, really are. And they're so sturdy, and they look pretty when they're done. And a few tips that I can give you about this apple cinnamon muffin. So in the base recipe, I had used the apple oatmeal, but you know what? So the maple oatmeal also works. You can also use a mug cake here as well. So it's a really good solid base recipe for a muffin that is going to turn out and work well. It's kind of one of those like the no fail recipes, the no fail chocolate cake or the no fail. That's what this apple cinnamon muffin really is. Cinnamon and or apple pie spice or cloves and nutmegs, those are really popular baking spices. But if there was something that you wanted to substitute to bring out a different flavor, I encourage everybody to play around with those kind of things as well. If you have a favorite, substitute it out and use it. If you don't use your 1 ounce of milk per day, simply just sub water. Those types of things. If you have an egg allergy and you can't use an egg yolk, then use some chayote butter. Those types of things. So basically like making applesauce out of chayote. So we can give you some subs that will work if you come across ingredients that may not work for you. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I'm not a baker, as we all know, but all of these recipes I actually did on my YouTube last year. Made some of your cookies, Dee. So I was it popped up when I did a search today. I was like, oh, I forgot about that. So if you are with us live, please type in #live and tell us where you're from. And if you have Dee's recipe book, you know what? Send us a big donut emoji. All right, you guys. Here we have the apple spice cake, and it was really fun. We Dee made all of these recipes, and did you bake them in our little Cuisinart convection oven?
I sure did.
So we actually have a Cuisinart, like a little toaster convection oven at our office, and we were holding the cooking event there, and she made all of these in the toaster oven. So things to know: you can make these in the toaster oven, and could you do this in an air fryer?
You can do it in an air fryer. You can also do it in a crock pot. So of course your crock pot takes a little longer, but again, you get a nice slow and low bake, and then they come out instead of tender, nice and moist. So it works as well. So you can where there's a will, there's a way. The air frying ones, I have to play just a little bit more to find those perfect temps, but air frying it goes faster, right? So you want to reduce your temperature just a little bit and your cooking time, but it totally works. It totally works. So, and again, in the world of protein packets, the oatmeal to me is a superstar for baking. It always has been, and takes on, it does have some good flavor on its own, but it really takes on whatever spices you put as well with it. In this recipe, I also give you an actual apple pie spice. And I just want to make note that makes an entire recipe a spice, and then you just use 2 teaspoons of that actual recipe. So I did have a user make the apple pie spice recipe to the right and then put it into that one serving recipe. So it was, I should probably mark that a little bit better, but that it's a spice blend recipe, they all don't go in there. So yeah.
Mix your spices, together. Yeah. Good note. Yeah. So we're learning the cookbook world over here. So if you have any tips, like if there's something in the cookbook that you see that you think maybe we could do a little bit better, please feel free to send us a note and say, hey, for the next cookbook, I would suggest this or that, because it really does it does help us so that we understand what you're looking for. Yeah. So again, if you're on this live, put in #live and tell us where you're from. And if you're watching in the replay, go ahead and give us a #replay. All right, Dee. Okay, so my friend Matt says, I'm glad you embraced the air fryer. They are wonderful. Yeah, he's a super cook. He's Master Barbecue. Barbecue.
Nice.
Love that guy. And Leah Cousins lives in Bonneville, Alberta. So she's #live here with us. All right. So let's see. We saw the cookies. Okay, you know that I always keep my favorite recipe, my favorite picture until last, and this is a brand new recipe that
Mhm.
Dee has created. So
These are maple orange muffins. And so once again, they have the chayote in them. You could, the jicama will work as well. Zucchini would even work too, but I do like the chayote and the jicama better because they're just more, they're firm. They're a meatier veggie. So the holding power is really good. And I use the zest from real orange. And you can use that as a seasoning. You would have to use a whole lot of zest to have any carbohydrates in it. And so it's better to use it fresh and zest yourself versus something that is already pre-dehydrated and dried and ground into powders, because they need a whole lot more spice then to make that product. So just remember that fresh is always best when you have it. There's nothing wrong with dried, but sometimes we talk about this lots in savory recipes. If you see recipes that have a lot of garlic and onion powders in them, stay away. There's a ton of carbs in them because they have to use so much of the whole product to get that one down. So we're going to think along the same lines with lemon zest, lime zest, orange zest. Best to use them fresh. So, but they do lend fabulous flavor in this recipe, and the zest is right in the middle of those muffins with the chayote, and they with the maple, they make a wonderful marriage. They're really nice, and so I tried them out on our clients at our gummy workshop the other night. So that's what I took for a snack, was the new maple orange muffins to get feedback, because I really do like to get feedback from clients before I post recipes, just to see how they're received, if it's a yay, a nay, or an okay. So it's a fun it's a fun way to present them for sure. Yeah.
yeah, and tell us a little bit about your gummy workshop the other night. So Dee did, she presented the workshop that she did at the Coaches Mastermind, and she did it in their clinic at Red Cliff Pharmacy in Alberta. How did that work?
That was really fun. I'm quite obsessed with collagen lately, just because it is, we talk a lot about system support when we're on health journeys. So not only are we on most of us that are on this plan are doing weight reduction, but we are looking for overall health. And collagen is one of those things that we stop producing halfway through our 30s, heading towards 40, but it is the most prevalent amino acid in our body. So it's really important. And the sources where you can get collagen from, of course, is, it is an animal byproduct. It's gelatin. So what I'm doing is that I am teaching protocol users how to make 100% freebie treats using gelatin and things like their branch chain amino acids, their collagen jello, their collagen blue cran drinks, but you can make them out of brewed teas, decaf teas, and lemon and lime, like that. Your imagination can just really go wild. So we went over all those types of things where you can make some freebie treats, but that are still good for your system support. And it was a workshop where we welcomed kids, we welcomed not just protocol users, but anybody who wanted to come and learn how to make these kind of treats. Because of course, what we're trying to encourage is healthy, yes, bone broth. What we're trying to encourage is, healthy snacking, healthy choices. And it was so awesome because we had a protocol user make them, and her grandson just loved them. And then we had two clients, their boys came and made them and had fun, and they ate them up. But that's exactly what it's for. It's to show you how you can have basically healthy treats and healthy snacking options. And so, if you're a client or you have clients that say, I just have this witching hour, and some people's are in the afternoon and some people are in the evening, and they just need a little something, this is a great little something. The other part of it that I really like is that it keeps your hands busy. It's like you're doing a craft. So instead of just, doing mindless eating in front of the TV, you're actually creating and making something, and then you have an end product. And so the conversation was a lot of fun to listen to. The giggles were a lot of fun to listen to. The smooshing of the gelatin, and what was really cool was, we would have somebody say, "Oh, I'm gonna make pina colada ones," and then another lady was, "Oh my gosh, that sounds good. I'm gonna make another batch too. I'm gonna try these ones." It was just a lot of fun. So just a really nice laid back workshop where so while they were making those gummies, then we did collagen education and talked about how we've all heard of leaky gut, how important it is. Collagen helps seal down your leaky gut. It's good for often it is associated with your hair, skin, and nails, which is very true, but it's also in every organ, skin, tendon, cartilage. It's just every system. So if you have sore joints, those kind of things, it's a powerhouse. It's a super source. So I'm giving you a treat and supporting all your health systems. So there. My long-winded spiel on my gummies and my collagen. And Karen, who was with us in San Jose, I loved it. She did an awesome post. She had made a few batches of her beautiful gummies and posted them in celebration of my gummy workshop. It was awesome. It's really neat to see people making, creating, and enjoying things that they can have on their journey. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you go over to the Red Cliff PharmaSave website, here's just a couple pictures of the actual event that was going on. You can see there's lots of people, and I think that's Melissa's son there. You got the dropper holes, and you can drop them right into the different trays, and lots of different fun molds that came with this workshop. So super fun stuff, you guys, and things that you can share with that you can do at home, or you can share with your clients if you're watching as a clinic. Dee, this being the first day of spring, what are before we sign off, wait, hold on. Let me say hi to a couple people. And remember, if you're live, say #live. We've got West Virginia. We got Massachusetts. We got Maryland, Gaithersburg, Maryland. So, thanks everybody for always sharing yourselves with us and for being here every week. And of course, if you're in the replay, say #replay. But Dee, give us your top 3 things for going into spring. So today's a transition day. It's also a full moon out there, I believe, which can definitely change the mood.
No doubt. So I like non-scale victories a whole lot in this season, and we really want to encourage you not to just focus so much on the pounds, but your non-scale victories. So now is a great time to start going through your closets and your wardrobe and even your shoes and seeing what you have in there. Maybe you've got some gold pants. Maybe you have a few sets of gold pants, and that's okay. Now is a great time to maybe go to your closet and try on a few outfits that maybe are a little too snug. And maybe you're going to surprise yourself and you're going to be into some of those already. And then you can start setting your next goals in that little bit of goal setting as we're changing seasons. So I never liked food rewards, but I like other tangible rewards. So now that the weather's turning nice, you know what? Maybe you're going to reward yourself with a new pair of sneakers or a new yoga mat or some new trekking poles or whatever you can come in conjunction with where your weather is. So ours does a violent turn from like bitter cold to like it's so beautiful and sunny. So it is time to get all the boots and coats out wherever you store them and do the changing of your wardrobe. So get the fun and the alive and your spring stuff out. And it's a great time. Not only when you're doing that, but do a little bit of paying forward. So any of your clothes or items that you're never going to wear again, get them cleaned out, get them, if you're a clinic, get your clothing swap organized, get those tables out. You accept all clean animal hair free, no rips, no stains, no tears. So you're only going to bring it if you would actually wear it. Get your clothing swaps out, get your tables going, size 0 to size 32, whatever it is that you've got. You offer it. Everybody's welcome to come and donate and take. Whatever is left over, you can donate to a local charity, women's shelter, Salvation Army, Catholic Charities, Goodwills, all those kind of things. We'll take your good used clothing. So they're always fun. Those types of events are always fun. So if you're a client and your clinic doesn't do that, put a bug in your coach's ears. You would love that. It's also a great cost-effective way. So usually about every 6 weeks when you're on this program, you could probably use a few articles of clothing as you're changing in size. So it is a great way to do some free shopping. A lot of fun. I know that there's some great models out, like some great clinic models that have done this, and we do it ourselves, and it's a lot of fun. So you can have a little fun evening that way. And yeah.
I love it. I love all those. I love all those goals, and I feel like spring is a really great time to purge. And so no matter what it is, whether we're purging our garage, our closets, we're, moving things around as we bring our summer clothes out. But purging is very releasing for our soul, for cleaning up stuff, whether it's maybe we're purging some emotional stuff.
Absolutely.
So, you can do that in your journal. We'll take one last question before we take off here. There's a comment about, are you supposed to lose 5 to 7 pounds more than your goal weight? This is what I've been told to move into phase 2. Now, remember that we do not, what you do with your coach is really a very personal thing. And we don't know your health profiles or your history. I just go to goal. What do you do, Dee?
So we have a really honest conversation about that. A lot of clients will maintain or even lose a little bit more in phase 2. But I'm going to kind of give you the scientific answer and then give you a quick little explanation. So when you go into ketosis, we are taking all the water and glycogen out of your muscles, and we are telling your body to use your fat as fuel once the water and glycogen is gone. That water and glycogen that you purge in that first week, when some of you say, I have the keto flu, I'm not feeling well, there is a weight value attached to that. It is just water weight. It's water and glycogen, but it has a weight value. It is not fat, but it still has a weight value. So it shows up on your scale. So when you're transitioning from phase 2 to phase 3, where you get the reintroductions of carbs and fat, some clients will see that little bit of water gain as they wake up their pancreas and start producing insulin again. Okay, so all that water and glycogen that was gone is now coming back. We can't tell you specifically what will happen to you because some clients choose to go very low carb. They don't get a huge water weight influx or gain. Some don't gain any at all. As once they've reached phase 3, you know what? Their metabolism is working fantastic for them now, and they're making really good food choices. So their system isn't overwhelmed by the food that they're putting in. So your body is now using that food, and they're learning how to maintain really, really nicely. So there's so many different factors. But even if you're in phase 1, say you were having a super snacky day, and you ate 2 pounds of cucumbers, you're going to weigh 2 more pounds at the end of that night. So kind of think about that process, but then, your body's going to use it and then it's going to go out. So think kind of along those terms. So there's a lot of different factors. Write your questions down so that when you see your coach heading into 2 and heading into 3, you can talk about all these kind of things. And, there's nothing wrong with asking your coach, if you're a little bit worried about that. water weight or those types of influxes, how we can go low and slow and really see how your body is going to respond, because it really is individual. Some clients simply hold a lot more water than others as well. They hold more glycogen and water in their muscles. So that also shows up as a weight value. So not to make this a super long-winded answer, but that is why too, I don't really like it when dieters come and say, well, my friend Jenny lost like 9 pounds in her first week and I only lost 4, so I'm doing crap. No. You just, you know what? You don't have the same body composition. You don't carry the same amount of water. Maybe you guys don't have the same amount of muscles. So just like, week to week, do not put your value in just the number of pounds lost. There's a whole bigger story going on. And so we really want to keep encouraging that. And at any time, if there's a part of the science that you don't quite understand or you need a little bit more help with, ask us and we'll do our best to guide you.
Yeah. But number one, listen to your coach. Okay, yes. Dee, it's been fabulous. If you are watching this in the replay, give us a hashtag replay. Tell us where you're from. If you have ordered the cookbook, give us a donut emoji. And as always, thank you for joining us. And please hit the share button, the like button, the heart button. We love that. All right, Dee. Love you.
Bye, everybody. Thanks for being with us. It's going to be awesome.